on our website. So anytime you are absent, I do appreciate when you email and let me know, you're sick or you're not going to be here. But certainly, if you're not, you should definitely go online, look at the class video. It will help you with the homework and such. You going to see Buddy? Yes. All right. Let's get going. Let's say a prayer first. Would any of you like to pray for our time together? I'll pray for us. All right. Will you pray with me? Heavenly Father, we're very thankful for this day. Please cause us to be reminded of you in the beautiful weather change and the season. Just help it remind us of you. We thank you for this place that we can learn. Thank you for each student who's here. Will you please help them to learn something new, help them to prepare well for their homework and test for this week, and help me to teach well so that they understand. In your name, amen. All right, let's go. So today I'm going to check lesson 17 on page 103, and then you've got this great picture here that you'll need to use your grammar book to write some verbs that go with this picture, all right? So page 103, lesson 17. That's what I'm looking at as I come around. It is, use your grammar book. Okay. You're going to write some verbs that go with that picture. Okay. You're welcome. Whiteboard for us. I know that was kind of cumbersome there. Yeah, very good. 100. You guys are rocking with your homework. All right, so let's do it together. Let's do this together, all right? Yeah, I appreciate the question. Sometimes something makes sense in my head, and it doesn't make sense to anyone else. So sorry about that. All right, so here we've got this picture. Can you tell what this is? All right, so the zebra, you got this tightrope. Here's the city. All right, so on page 75 in the grammar book, you looking at page 75? So we've got those 4 principal parts of a verb. So somebody tell us a present tense verb for this picture. Floats. Floats. Present tense. Floats. What would be another one? Balances. What would be another? Walks. Yep. What about a present participle? So now add a be verb from the be house and ing. You can use the same verbs that we just used for present tense.
Is balancing.
Is balancing. What would be another? Is floating. Is walking. All right. Past tense.
Has walked.
Past tense without the, it's not perfect.
Walked.
Walked. Very good. Yes.
Balanced.
Balanced. Floated. Now, Laura M. Past participle.
Has walked.
Has walked. Yes. Has balanced. Has floated. All right. All you need is one for each. Did you get those? So walks is walking, walked, has walked. Balances is balancing, balanced, has balanced. All right, do we have one of those? For page 75? We're good? All right, now turn to page 100. Let's do this one together too. Now we're going to get progressive on you. Let's get progressive on this. All right, same picture. You can use the same verbs. Now, present progressive. Anybody?
Was balancing.
Present is balancing. Yeah, is balancing. Caitlin, past progressive.
Was balancing.
Was balancing. Future progressive.
Shall be balancing.
Shall be balancing. Yes. Or will be balancing. All right, now let's really get crazy. Present, perfect, progressive. Has been balancing because it's present. So it's has been balancing. Past perfect progressive. Now, Caitlin.
Had been balancing.
Had been balancing. All right, and then the future perfect progressive. This is like 4 words.
Will have been balancing.
Yes. Good. Will have been balancing. Because grammar and verbs are fun. Right? That's the word that comes to your mind when we're doing these principal parts of verbs, these progressive verbs, perfect progressive. You think, this is fun. Finally, I found it. Here it is. Fun. Capital F. Okay. All right. Do you have those filled in for today's journal? All right. Well, let's go ahead and let's do the quiz. I'm going to tell you our schedule for today while you get your quiz paper ready. It's the same we always do. You can go ahead and put your name on a piece of notebook paper, number from 1 to 6, and A through F kind of in the middle, and just listen out as we talk about where we're going today. All right, so we did the homework check and your journal. This is vocabulary quiz 6. And the 19 linking verbs, We're going to do a grammar review of last week's grammar, 16, 17, and 18. Then we'll do the grammar lessons for this coming up week, 19, 20, 21. We'll take a break. And our writing, we'll review the plot diagram and the conflict. And I want us to look at the cup and the anthem. I want us to look at your assignments. Did you guys print those out? Were you able to print that out and bring it with you? All right, so we'll look at those. Okay, we'll look at those together. And we'll talk about test number 2 coming up this week. All right, so we'll talk about that. All right? Doesn't that sound fun? This is me. So you're just bringing out all the fun today. F-U-N. Wow. Yes. All right, you guys ready for this? All right, here you go. So these are the 6. Number 7 is where you just start listing the linking verbs. So these will, just like the last time, there'll be 1 point each. So if you know all 19, then write all 19 down. If you can only get some of them, they're only 1 point off for the ones that you don't put on there. So it's not a tremendous amount, all right? It's very generous. I'll show you A through F in just a minute. Go ahead and get yourself through here.
Can we start on the linking verbs?
Yes, go ahead and start. Yes. Yeah. In the parent note, I gave Mom a few suggestions as to how to help you memorize when you've got a big list like 19. That's a lot of various words. Did Mom share that with you guys, some ways to help you memorize these by chance? You said, no, we don't need it. We're too smart for that. All right, here you go. Off you go. As soon as you're done, I will collect it. I'm going to need all the papers in 1 minute. 1 more minute. If you have yours, I'll take it if you're ready. I double check that your name is on there. That's why I look at your papers. Don't be nervous about that. I believe if you're all done, page 93 is where we're going. That's where we're starting first. All right, need all the papers. All right, I got everybody. Okay. All right, page 93. Let's do a little review. Oh, you do have yours. Okay, finish that up. Yep, finish it up. All right, we're on page 93. You got your highlighters out and your pencil? it out into the hallway so that you can finish it up and then come on back when you're done. Okay? So you're still doing the matching?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
We'll go back. Nope, it's right here. Okay. No, you finish up. We can review while you finish that up. All right, so we're on page 93. These are the gerunds. Okay, so these are gerunds. It's a type of verbal. Can someone remind us what a verbal is? Anybody, just call it out. What's a verbal? Laura.
Verb acting like a noun.
Yes, exactly. It's a verb acting like a noun, right? And you see that little word verb in there. Did you get it? Page 93. All right, yeah, so it looks like it's a verb, but it's acting like a noun, right? So here he is. And dead giveaway, every gerund will have what at the end of it?
ING.
ING. All right, I want you to practice diagram this gerund and verb in this sentence. Laughing makes you feel good. You can just do it right there in the margin of your book. Laughing makes you feel good. You're going to diagram the gerund and the verb. And here we have Jerry, for a reason, how his arms are. All right. So what is the gerund in that sentence?
Laughing.
It's laughing, right? So do you have a little Jerry there? And then we put laughing right on this guy right here. Is this what your gerund looks like? All right, and what is my verb? Makes. Excellent. All right, so here you have your gerund, which is the subject, makes. And there you go. All right, nobody is laughing in this sentence. All right, so that's why this is what a gerund. It looks like a verb. People can laugh. That is a verb. But in this sentence, nobody is laughing. All right, laughing is our subject. It's our noun. All right, and the progressive verbs. Look at page 99. All right, then we really got crazy with our verb forms. Progressive. All right, so what does progressive mean? I have it up here for you. The action is? It's in progress. It is still going on. All right, so that is progressive. And there are 6 forms. So we have 3 that are formed with the be house, a verb with ing. And we have 3 from the have house, been, verb ing. All right, so let's practice with Snoop. Not Snoopy, who's a dog, and he's fantastic. Snoop. What does Snoop mean?
Sneak.
Sneak. That's good, yeah. All right, so let's do that verb, snoop. Let's start back with AC. All right, so we're going to start with present progressive. Turn to page 100. I think we wrote all of these notes out. Which of those be verbs go with the verb ing? All right, so AC, get us started with snoop, present progressive.
Has been snooping.
That is the present perfect progressive. Go back up to present progressive at the top. It's one of the be house verbs.
Been snooping. Been snooping.
Is am, are. Do you see that up at the top 100?
Oh, wrong page.
You got it. Try again, my dear. All right, try it again.
Is snooping.
Is snooping. Yes. There you go. Caitlin, past progressive.
Was snooping.
There it is. Zoe, future progressive.
Will be snooping.
There it is. Josh, present perfect progressive.
Has,
Yeah.
Has been.
Yes. Has been snooping. Andrew, past perfect progressive.
Had been snooping.
There it is. Laura, future perfect progressive. There it is. All right, and then Laura M. Here's the next verb. We'll go around one more time. Poke. Poke. All right, start us off. Present progressive.
Is poking.
Is poking. Yes. Rose.
Was poking.
Was poking. Yes. Future progressive, Isaac.
Shall be poking.
Shall be poking. Yes. Back to AC.
Has been poking.
Has been poking. Yes. Caitlin.
Had been poking.
Had been poking. Yes. Zoe. Last future perfect progressive.
Will have been poking.
Will have been poking. There we go. Wasn't that fun? All right. It's kind of fun to poke. Poke, poke. All right. Very good. And then we have link. The linking verbs. The linking verbs. This is link. All right. The linking verb. Somebody tell us something about it. You can look up here if you need to. Does not show action. Right. Somebody tell us something else.
It doesn't help the action verb.
Doesn't help. It's not a helping verb. Right. What does it do? What? Right. It connects. It connects. All right. So I've got this video, and I did put this. It is linked in our website. Did anybody look at the linking verb video? Okay. It's a terrific visual. It's awesome. But there's a song that goes with it that's terrible. Maybe it will load here. We're just going to sit here and look at it, try to load. Come on. You can do it. Load up. No. I'm going to have to reload it. Hold on. All right. Ada, buddy. Here, let's try. Try it again. Oh, no. It's good. Maybe it doesn't want us to do this. See, the singing is so bad in this video. It's sparing you the pain of listening to the singing in this video. It's really that bad.
And their voice is bad or is the song bad?
The song is okay. It's her voice.
Oh.
It's just her voice. I don't know. All right, I'm going to try it one more time. Do you like us now? I don't know why it says this website may be impersonating Schoology. Who would want to do that? Who would want to impersonate Schoology? I mean, it's not a very interesting, it's just a school website.
Probably look it up on YouTube.
No, you're right. Let's see if it will let us do that. Yep. It says no. It says no. No. Well, we might have to come back. Show the awful, terrible singing video later. He doesn't like it. All right. Well, let's go down. See how many linking verbs you guys can remember. All right. Let's start with Isaac. Just name one linking verb.
Is.
Remaining.
Okay. Keep going. We'll go to Andrew, down to Zoe, to Caitlin, to AC, back to Isaac. Let's see how many you guys can get.
And. Was.
Taste.
Are. Grow.
Do we get to AC?
Yeah, I said are.
Okay. All right. See if you can get around again.
What do we name those?
Hmm?
Are.
They're just calling them out random.
Look.
Name another one. They are on pages
Sounds.
106 to 107, if you need to remember.
Sounds.
Okay.
Become.
Okay. Keep going. Keep going, keep going. Did we name them all?
There's 3 more.
What are the 3 we missed? Were. I think, did someone do appear? I thought I heard that, but maybe not. Okay, good. All right, I think it likes us this time. All right, let's see. Down here. Aha.
Get ready, because K-5 Science is here. Let's explore. GenerationGenius.com educates and explores.
I'll start off letting you listen to her sing until you can't stand it anymore. Okay? It's not bad. You just feel like, I don't know. Just beware. All right, but it's a good visual. It's a terrific visual for you to see. This is what linking verbs do. Laura, can you get the lights for us, please?
Linking verbs connect the subject to the past.
I'm sorry about it. I'm sorry.
Linking verbs can help a sentence be its best. Linking information is the job that they...
See, but it's a good visual, right? I mean, it's a fantastic visual. You just have to...
Seems too hot.
She starts singing.
Her voice isn't great for this.
All right, but this is exactly what they do, right? So the linking verb links the subject, and it's to a noun or adjective after it. It's giving you more information about that subject. So this sentence, our linking verb is, what is it linking together? Yes. All right, so it's telling us something about Elliot, who thinks he's a superhero. Or maybe he really is. I don't know. I didn't see him in Marvel, though. All right, there were no Elliots in the Marvel movies. Not in the Justice League either. No Elliots. As far as I know. There he is. All right. And so in the second one, we have seems. Again, a linking verb. Ayana is linked to the adjective happy. Again, it is telling you information about Ayana. Right? All right. So superhero and noun. Ooh. There was my pointer. Oh. Here's your noun. Here's your adjective, right? Both can be linked back to the subject with the linking verb with the little chain illustration there. More singing. Did you see how big that cake was? It was as big as she was. I'd be happy about that too. Look at that. I'd be happy with a cake that I could sit in. Well, I mean, look at that. She could, like, get in that cake. That's pretty happy. All right.
Linking verbs connect the subject with more information. Although they don't show action, they're quite a sensation. And as always word forms of to, be, and see. These are linking verbs that you may someday need.
I can't take it anymore. All right. You can watch the full video later. All right. So there we go. A good linking verb video review. All right. Yes.
Video nonstop in my sister's room.
Voices are really nice.
Yes, that would be a good joke because it's super terrible. All right. Are we ready to talk about this week? What's happening this week? All right. Well, let's see. So let's go back. Let's look at our table of contents. If you'll go to your table of contents, let's highlight what we're looking at today. All right, so you have 19, 20, and 21. We've got two that are related to nouns, and we have one pink that is everything else. Pink is our punctuation, it's our prepositions, and everything else. So we have an everything else, pink there. So 19, 20, and 21. When you have those highlighted in your table of contents, you can turn to page 112, and we'll start with the infinitive. We'll start with the infinitive. All right, page 112 is Buzz. You haven't seen Buzz in a while. Here he is. All right, so here, we'll come back to this. I'll tell you why we're looking at Buzz there. Let's go to the notes for you. Here we go. All of this is in the class folder. You want to look at it more. All right, so this is in orange. Doesn't look like it. This is orange. Our two new vocabulary words, approbation and probity. Approbation and probity. I also highlighted that Latin root, prob, P-R-O-B, which means upright and honorable. Both of these words have something to do with that Latin root. All right, the infinitive. The infinitive. Like the gerund, it's a verbal. It's a verbal. What does that mean? If it's a verbal.
It's a verb that acts like a noun.
Yes. All right, so it is a verb that is acting like a noun. All right, so it is not functioning like a verb, and it will have the word to most of the time. We'll look at some examples where it does not have the word to. Most of the time, it does. To censor, to lobby, to incriminate, to appease. All right, so the infinitive is a verbal with the word to and a verb. All right, so that's why we have Buzz Lightyear with it. It's because that's his phrase, to infinity and beyond. So it reminds you of the to. It reminds you of this to with the infinitive. All right? All right, so we're going to look at infinitives as nouns and subjects just like the gerund. We're going to look at them as nouns and subjects just like the gerund. Here are some examples in the middle of the page. All right? And it also shows you how to diagram them. Very similar to the gerund, but it's not the little Egyptian guy there. It's just a straight line. All right? So your gerund looks like this. On the line, maybe not quite so wide there on the bottom. There we go. All right, so your gerund looks like that. The infinitive just looks straight, like this. All right, so this is the infinitive, and this is your gerund. Your Jerry, and now your Buzz. There you go. All right, so with your orange and blue, we have to censor is. All right, so to censor would be your subject right here. Is would be our verb. To appease, there's our subject, our infinitive, proved, and there's our verb. All right, down at the bottom of page 112, just to help us get used to recognizing these. To delay, that is our infinitive, was. To hold, will veto. There's our infinitive, there's our verbs. Down here at the bottom, to win, seemed. To win, seemed. There's our infinitive, and there's our verb. At the top of page 113. All right, so there's how to diagram this. To win, there's our infinitive. Seemed is right there. All right, you guys can do this? Easy enough? All right, there are two tenses for the infinitives. There's two. All right, there's two tenses. What's another word for tense? Time. So there's two times. You have present time, which is the infinitive itself. It will be to and then your verb. And you also have perfect tense, the perfect time. That's why you have the have in there. Remember, that means it's completed. The action is done. So we put have and we use the past tense because it's done. So to have averted, to have impeached, to have vetoed. All right, the two tenses, the two times for an infinitive. All right, just more recognition and then we'll do some practice. So here in example 3, to have incriminated, that whole thing is your infinitive. Gave is your verb. B, to avert, that is your infinitive. Was is the verb. You ready for some practice? Yes, let's do it. More fun. All right, down at the bottom, page 113. This is what I want you to do, is I want you to recognize and highlight the infinitive and the verb. Just like I did here. To recommend, that is your infinitive subject. Challenged is your verb. So that is in blue. So I want you to do that here and then at the top of page 114. A, B, C, and D. All right, so work on those, please. Of course, we'll talk about them. So the bottom of 113, then turn over to the top of page 114 as well. Okay. Oh, I can point from way back here. Look at this. Ooh. Look at that. Okay. All right, so for B, what is the infinitive? Everybody. To have overthrown. That should be in orange. What is the verb? Might have caused. That is quite a verb. So we had 3 words in our infinitive, 3 words in our verb. All right, C. What is the infinitive here? To have censored. There it is. That is in orange. What is your verb? Would have saved. There it is. All right, and D, what is the infinitive? To fill. What is the verb? Requires. There it is. You guys got it. Any questions on that? We're all savvy? All right, let's try diagramming just a few here. All right, let's just do one together, and then you guys will do 2 and 3 on your own. All right, so you'll highlight first and then diagram. I've already highlighted number 1 for you. To have snacked is your infinitive. To is all by itself. Have snacked. There's the rest of the infinitive. Put it on those tiny little legs. And then would have ruined is the rest of that verb. All right, I want you to do 2 and 3 and then stop. Highlight first, then diagram. Just 2 and 3. Just 2 and 3. Anybody done? Are you all done with 2 and 3? Will you put number 2 up on the board, please?
Can I bring my book up there?
Yes, of course. Absolutely. Will you put number 3 up on the board, please? Do this board right here, just so you can see it. Yep. You can just put it down here. Yep, go ahead. All right, so 2 and 3 are coming up for you. Laura, you can go to yours right underneath the first one. You can take your book over there with you. I need my
don't
book.
have anywhere to put it.
You can just hold it. You want me to hold it for you? Here, come this way a little bit. Can you hold it? You got it. Great. Let's see how they do. Love these big infinitives and these big verbs. Yes, that looks good. So, Caitlin, the only thing, just turn so that it looks like this. Do you see how this, 2, and then that? Yeah. So you'll have to squish it in there. I know, grammar is picky. Part of,
With the marker.
you're going to put it in this bucket here.
I have a question.
Yes.
When we're diagramming a germ, do we have to make it so that it is slanted, it's like diagonal, or can it be straight?
The gerund?
Yes.
So the gerund is a little more straight. Right, so the gerund diagrams like this, you write it diagonal,
Okay.
of course.
Okay.
So let's say snacking.
That's what I was wondering. Like, do you have to make it so like it touches, like it's like this versus straight? The gerund, not the diagram.
Yeah, just like this. Yeah.
So, do you want me to put it in there?
Right there. Yep, there you go. These are right. These are right. Any questions about those? Those are right. Thank you, ladies. That is a good question, Zoe. Does this help you? Does this answer?
Yes. Thank you.
This is straight. This is on a diagonal.
Yeah.
And then this, the only word here is 2. Everything else goes on a straight line. And then these tiny little legs are holding up all of that. Okay? All right. Very good. Very good. Turn to page 116. Page 116. I'm going to help you on your homework. We're going to diagram those 2 sentences together. One of them has an infinitive. One of them has a gerund. All right? One of them has an infinitive. One of them has a gerund. So go ahead and diagram 29 and 30 on page 116. Come back. Come back. Ooh, let's do pink and green on this one. Pink and green. (29 and 30), page 116. One is the gerund, and one is an infinitive. Did you finish, Rose? Can you diagram 29 up there, please? Do you have it, Andrew? me, please? We got one Jerry and one Buzz. Who has the Jerry? Who's got the Buzz? You guys already know? Which one is 29, Jerry or Buzz? Buzz, right. So there's your infinitive. So that means number 30 is the Jerry. Okay, yeah, that's great. Thank you. I know, sorry about this cord. All right, so we'll look at number 29. To have sneezed would have caused. There it is. There it is. That's exactly right. Keep this guy. No, you're fine. Keep it like, there you go. This is your Buzz. This is your infinitive. Very good. And number 30, sneezing. What is this? Could. We're missing the word could here, Andrew. So we'll squeeze it in and make sure this line goes all the way down. There you go. Could is right here. Whoop, we squeeze it in. Sneezing could have caused, right? And this could is the beginning of the sentence, so this is where the capital letter is. All right? Got these? All good? All right, let's rock and roll. All right. We'll move on to phrases and clauses. This is page 117. Let's switch to pink. Switch to pink. All right. So here we have two new vocabulary. Pocket veto, ex post facto. Pocket veto occurs when the president holds a bill unsigned until Congress is no longer in session. Ex post facto, made or done after something has occurred, but having retroactive effect. What in the world? Well, here's the example. An ex post facto law is one that allows punishment for a crime that was not illegal at the time it was committed. All right, so because the Constitution declares ex post facto laws illegal, cars purchased before smog equipment was required are exempt. So if something was done before that action became against the law, you cannot be, convicted of doing something illegal. All right, that's what that is saying. All right. All right, phrases and clauses. This is a short one. Phrases and clauses. A phrase, here it is in the middle, pink. It's a group of words used as a single part of speech in a sentence. It can contain nouns and verbs, but, and here's the difference, it does not have both a subject and a predicate. It does not have both. All right, it will have one or the other. It will have one or the other. It will not have both. All right, it will have one or the other. Now, a clause will have both. All right, and that is the difference. A clause is a group of words with a subject and a predicate. Both subject and predicate. The phrase will have one or the other. The clause will have both. This is how you can keep them apart. All right, so here's a little built-in, here's a little mnemonic, a way to help you memorize something. Clause begins with C. B for both begins with B. So both, that is a clause. B and C together. If you see a subject and a predicate, then that's both, then you have a clause. All right, I don't know, it looks like I'm pointing over here, but somehow the arrow is here. I don't know how that works. Like I should be pointing and it should be over here on the wall. But it's Somehow I can point it this way and it's still getting on there. I don't know how that works. Not that it matters. That doesn't matter at all. I'm just saying, wow, that's really cool. Okay, anyway. All right, that makes sense? All right. So, for example, turn the page. Let's look at some examples here. All right, so up here at the top in example 1, we have to appoint Supreme Court justices. All right, so we only have a verb here. So this is a phrase. In the United States, we only have a subject here. So this is a phrase. After the president nominates the justices, now we have both. We have president nominates. This is a clause because it has both. Qualifying for service on the highest court. All right, all we see is a verb there, so this is a phrase. If Congress had passed the law, now we have both, that would be a clause. All right, one more thing to highlight. Right down here. Every complete sentence has at least one clause because it's got a subject and a verb. It's got both. That is what makes it a complete sentence. It's got to have both. Some sentences have more than one clause. Right? So every time you have a subject and a verb combination, that's a clause. You can have a lot of clauses together. All right? A lot of Santa Clauses together. There's really only one. Actually, there's a lot of them, aren't there? Right? Santa Claus. Yeah. Never mind. All right. So every time you have a subject and a verb, that's a clause. In this sentence here in the middle, we have 1, 2, 3, and 4 subject verbs. So we have 4 clauses in there. 4 Santa Clauses in there. All right, let's do some practice. Let's do some practice. Page 119, right here in the middle. All you have to tell me is that a phrase or a clause. You can just write P or C. You don't even have to write the whole word. P or C, right here in the middle. Is it a phrase or a clause? Actually, this last one here is a diagram. Yeah, don't worry about E. Just do D. Don't worry about E. Say bye, E. Sorry. Just do these. Phrase or clause. You guys ready? A. What is A?
Clause.
It's a clause. Why? What's the subject? Supreme Court. Am I going to get my arrow back? There it is. All right, there's your subject. What's the verb? There it is. We got both. It's a clause. What about B? Phrase. It's a phrase. C. Clause. It's a Santa Claus. All right, C. What is the subject? All right, segregation and the verb. Proved. It's got both. It's a clause. It's a Santa Claus. What about D? Phrase. It's a phrase. All right? That's all that lesson is about. That was simple. Only they were all that simple. All right, one more lesson to go through, then you get a break, and we'll talk about some writing. All right, page 123, the direct object. The direct object, this is going to be orange. Page 123. All right, let's find those notes. What are the 2 vocabulary up in the box? They're abbreviations, aren't they? All right, so they're E-G and I-E. There they are. All right, we're in orange. It doesn't look orange, but it's orange. Exempli gratia, E-G, which means for example. All right, and I-E-S, I-E, which means that is to say. That is to say. All right, and then there are some examples here for you. The novel featured many colorful characters, e.g., and then here are, for example, the knight, the squire, the yeoman, the prioress. E.g. is for example. When you say i.e., what you mean to say is that is to say. For example, the class will study the document that governs the United States, i.e., that is to say, the Constitution. All right? So you'll need to know those two. You don't need to know the Latin. You just need to know the abbreviation. All right? Direct object. Is orange ready to go? All right. Woo, orange. You're about to go crazy on these pages here. Here we go. Here's orange. All right. So we have a direct object only follows an action verb. Only follows an action verb. Follows means it comes after. And it tells who or what is receiving that action. For this example, we have selected, that is our action verb. And we can ask ourselves, selected who? Ambassador. So this noun after the action verb tells us who was selected. So the ambassador is our direct object here. So if you've got an action verb, ask yourself, well, what is the verb in the sentence? Is it an action verb? Who or what is receiving that action? And that is going to be your direct object. All right? All right, rock and roll. So, for example, look down at the bottom. All right, so this goes through the questions with you. All right, so for example, the ambassador earned an appointment. All right, so what is the verb here? Everybody. Earned. Is it action? Yes, that's something you can do. Who receives that action? The appointment. Yeah, so the appointment is the direct object there. All right, turn the page. All right, 124. All right. You don't have to highlight this. We're just going through this together. All right, so here's the sentence. The Supreme Court may reverse a lower court's decision. All right, what is the verb? May reverse. Is it action? Yeah, that's something that they can do. And who is receiving that action? Who or what? All right, the lower court's decision. All right, so decision would be the direct object. One more example. Hello, Mrs. Mises' fingers. All right, one more. Treason is a crime against the United States. All right, what is the verb? Is. Is it action? It's a linking verb. You do not have a direct object. All right, if you do not have an action verb, then you don't have a direct object. This is why I wanted you to memorize those linking verbs. All right? It's really important to be able to recognize so that your diagrams look right, so that you're identifying the parts of the sentence correctly. All right? If you have a linking verb, you will not have a direct object. So there is no direct object here. Okay? All right, let's diagram them. Oh, I did put a star here because that is important for you to remember. All right, there is no direct object because we have a linking verb. It is not an action verb. It's a linking verb. There is no direct object. All right, so how do we diagram them? They look like this. They look like this. All right, juries weigh the evidence. Juries is our subject, that we know. You guys are doing fantastic with that. Weigh is our verb, that you know. You guys are doing fantastic. Evidence is our direct object. We have an action verb, weigh. Weigh what? What do they weigh? The evidence. So there we have a direct object. Do you see how that line stops right there? The line between subject and verb goes all the way through, but the line for the direct object, boom, stops right there. Right? All right. Can gerunds be direct objects? Yes, they can, because they can be nouns. Can you see this okay, Caitlin? I can move it. All right, so we got a Jerry over here. We got a Jerry. How do I know it's a Jerry? What gives it away? ING. ING gives it away. All right, so we have jurors. There's the subject. Do enjoy. There is the verb. Oh, I forgot to highlight it up here. Do enjoy. There's our verb. Do enjoy what? Deliberating. So now we have a gerund that is also being the direct object here. All right. Can you have an infinitive as your direct object? Yes, you can. There it is at the top of page 125. There's Buzz. There is Buzz. Remember, the infinitive is also acting as a noun. And it can be a direct object because nouns are direct objects. You is our subject. Would like. You would like what? To speak. And so there is our direct object standing tall right there. All right? And there we go. I noticed that would is the first word in the sentence, so it is also the capital letter here in the diagram. All right? Sounds fun, doesn't it? Here is an example with Stephen. All right, what do you notice about this sentence here? The to is missing. It's understood. Yes. You could have the to there. Stephen will help to clean. But in this sentence, it's missing, but it's still an infinitive. And we put that in parentheses here where the to goes. The parentheses means it wasn't in the sentence. But we know that it's there. It's just mysterious and hiding. But it's in there. Put it in there, people. Put it in there. There it is. All right, everything else, we got that. We know that. We've done that. But this right here is new when the to is understood. Put it in there, people. All right, and then the same with the example underneath. Can you help vacuum? If mom ever asks you that, your answer is?
Yes.
Yes! I would love to. Yes. All right, so here's our subject. You can help. And again, it's really to vacuum. It's being all mysterious again. All right, put that to in there, people. And there you go. There's the infinitive. All right? Good to go? Woohoo! All right, let's practice a little bit. Let's practice a little bit right here. All right, so A through D, this is on page 126. Page 126. All I want you to do is highlight in orange what the direct object is. That's it. What is the direct object? Highlight that in orange. Just A through D. This will be our last thing. We'll take a break. You're almost there. Hang in there. This is it. This is it. We're going to go through A, B, C, and D. You're going to get to take a break, and then we'll talk about the cop and the anthem just a teeny bit. Teeny, teeny, teeny. All right. A, what is your direct object? What is it?
I said balance.
Balance. Yeah, balance. Wanted what? What did they want? Balance. So balance right here should be in orange, right? Okay, letter B. What's the direct object?
Commander-in-chief.
What is it?
Commander-in-chief.
Is it? What's your action verb in there?
isn't one, right?
There isn't one.
It is.
Oh, it was being sneaky. Woo! Man, B. B came up and bit you, didn't it? All right, B, there is no direct object. Is a linking verb. You cannot have a direct object with a linking verb. C. Traders. Yeah. Oh, we got traders. Traders. That's what B is. B is our trader. All right, D. Treaties. There you go. All right, close up your grammar. Go take a break. Go get some water. Go to the restroom. We're going to start up again in 2 minutes. You guys have done good. That was a lot of sitting. It was. That was a lot of sitting. You guys did great. 2-minute break. Everybody's got to go out.
Hello, readers. I'm going to draw you a map right now, and it's going to look...
Cullen Academy.
That's it.
You didn't know I was enrolled in that school?
I know.
Suddenly.
You had no idea. Well, don't make me put that singing back on. Listen to her singing some more.
Oh, I just want to play that in my sister's room constantly.
Because you love her so much.
No, I share a room with my sister. That is
I love you so much. This song reminds me of you. I know she wants to hear it.
8 years.
So great. It's so great. See how things are going with Caleb here. You don't have to whisper. It's okay. All right, I've got this video for you. This is on, just to review, the plot diagram. The plot diagram. Then we'll talk about the cop and the anthem. And we'll talk about your test coming up. Test number 2 this week. All right, you don't have to take notes. Just sit and enjoy this video about the 3 little pigs. Remember the 3 little pigs? That was from a while ago. Yeah, all right, here we go. Little plot diagram review. You can kill the lights, Laura. Kill them. Oh, there you go. All right, here we go.
Draw you a map right now, and it's going to look like I've drawn a mountain. But it's not a map of a mountain. It's a map of a story. What? You're saying, how do you map a story? What makes a story pointy? These are great questions, and to answer them, I'll say this. Today we're going to talk about the elements of a story, or the parts that make it up, like ingredients in a recipe. Many stories follow a similar pattern. Good readers know what these patterns are and can talk about them using the right terms. And this helps everyone be on the same page, so to speak, when you discuss or write about the stories you read. I'm about to drop a lot of vocabulary on you, so brace yourselves. The story begins with exposition, where we learn about the characters and the setting. Then we introduce a conflict, or a big problem. As the characters begin to interact with the conflict or try to solve the problem, we enter rising action, this upward slope of the story mountain. When the conflict comes to a head, we hit the most exciting part of the story.
We don't call it conflict. What did we call it on your homework?
Climax.
No.
Exciting moment.
Inciting moment. It was down here. Yeah. Climax is about what he's going to say there, Laura. That was good listening. That's about what he's going to say. So here, he calls it conflict, but we call it inciting moment. And it kind of sounds like exciting moment, doesn't it? Because it's an exciting moment. It gets the whole story started, right? Yes. Okay. Off we go.
The climax. Here, the conflict can't go any further. We're at the top of the mountain. There's nowhere else to go except down. After the climax, after this most exciting part of the story, we enter falling action. The climax will happen much closer to the end of the story than to the middle. It's not a symmetrical mountain. The action slows down, the problem has been solved, or maybe the problem has changed, and the characters prepare for the last phase of story, the resolution. This is where we tie up loose ends, characters reflect on what they learned, maybe you set up a sequel. Now, look, that was a lot of information all at once. In order to make sense of it, let's apply all of those terms to a story. Now, our go-to has been The Three Little Pigs, and while that's a story everyone knows, I'm starting to think it needs to be freshened up a little bit, really work on its franchise potential, you know? So let's go through the elements of story by looking at my new project, a reboot of Three Little Pigs, that I'm calling TLP Starbound. See, it's Three Little Pigs, but it's in space. That's a space helmet. So I'm going to put a little story map here in the corner. Okay, so, the exposition. It's the future. Pigs have expanded to every corner of the galaxy. 3 brave little pigs decide to strike out on their own, exploring a new, exciting region of space. 1 builds a spaceship out of straw. Go with me here. 1 builds a spaceship out of twigs. And 1 builds a spaceship out of a flexible hyperalloy they developed in a laboratory. She's the brainy pig. So, we've got the setting. It's the future, they're in space. We've got our characters, the pigs. Now, the conflict. Along comes the notorious space pirate, Captain Wolf. He's big, he's bad. He wants to blow up the spaceships and eat the pigs. He begins hunting down the pig ships one at a time. I think Captain Wolf has an eye patch. No, he has a cyber eye. He's part robot. And now we enter our rising action phase. Captain Wolf engages the straw ship. They have an exciting space battle. And Straw Pig escapes in the little escape pod to the twig ship. But Captain Wolf follows. He is undaunted. The tension continues to rise. He destroys the twig ship. The 2 pigs escape again, this time to the brick house. The hot, flexible, hyperalloy spaceship piloted by the science pig. And now we come to the climax. Captain Wolf comes to the advanced ship. He tries to blow it up, but he can't. It's too powerful. He decides to board the ship, because that's the only way he'll get to eat the pigs, but the pigs trap him in a space barrel while he's still in the airlock. They did it. They solved the problem. Captain Wolf is trapped in a space barrel, and he can't eat them now. The climax is past, and now we enter the falling action phase of the story. In the version of the story that I know, the 3 little pigs roll the barrel into the river. So I think maybe in this version they punt the space barrel out the airlock into the cold void of space. Or maybe they strand him on a deserted planet. But in any case, they never have to deal with the wolf again. The threat is now gone. And that means that the conflict has been resolved. We're in the resolution part of the story now. The first 2 little pigs, the straw ship pig and the twig ship pig, learn that they need to put more work into their spaceships if they want to survive in space. And they build fancy spaceships just like the science pig. And that's an introduction to story elements. Now that you're familiar with the ideas, start applying them to your favorite stories. You can do this with any form of media: books, comics, TV shows, movies, games. What's the conflict? How is it resolved? Once you start looking for story structure and entertainment, you will find it everywhere. Let us know what you see. You can learn anything. David out.
All right. Super great pig story. I really like this at the top. Known pig space, unknown pig space. That is hilarious. Okay. This looks familiar, right? Yeah, this looks familiar. If you have your COP and the Anthem writing assignment, go ahead and let's take a look at that. I had this. I put on everybody else's to print it out, but I did yours today. All right. So here's what we're looking at with these. All right. This coming up week, you've got grammar test number 2. Grammar test number 2. All right. And you won't have a writing assignment due Monday because there will be a writing you have to do for the test. And it will look very similar to this. All right. It'll be a different story, a shorter story. All right. But you will have to do the plot diagram for the story. And then I will ask you some questions about the conflict. And then you'll write a paragraph based on whatever you write here. Okay. So right now, see, your answers were short answers, just answering questions. But I want you to turn this into like a 5 to 6 sentence paragraph about the conflict in that story. That's the only piece we're adding for the test, okay? So let's make sure the plot diagram, let's take a look at what you guys have for that. All right, let me find it. Bye-bye, pigs. I'm sorry we have to see the pigs go. They were fantastic. All right, back to this boring old slideshow that's non-piggy, boring slideshow. Here we go. All right, so this plot diagram, the exposition for the cop and the anthem. This is where you tell who the characters are and the setting. All right, that is what the exposition does. So the exposition for the cop and the anthem, does someone have that? Someone that got this correct? What should you have here? So winter arrives. You could say it was in winter. What else? All right, Soapy is our character. He's cold, he's hungry, he's also homeless. And where's the story taking place?
New York.
In New York. It's in a big city. All right, all of that is your exposition. Your characters and the setting. Now, inciting moment, which is not here. The exciting moment that gets the story happening. What is it for this one? Someone who got it correct. What is coming?
Sophie's visit your first restaurant? Was that right?
No, it's before that. It's before that. What gets him, what motivates him to go to the restaurant? Winter. Yeah. Is that what you were going to say, Laura? All right. Laura, what is the exciting moment here? Winter is coming. Why does that get this story started? He needs somewhere to stay, right? He's homeless, which we already established in the exposition. There. All right. You already told your reader he's homeless, all right? So the exciting moment is winter is coming. He needs a place to stay. All right? That's what prompts him to go to the restaurant and to try to get arrested. All right? And so the rising action here are all the times he tries to break the law. All right? That is what is happening here. Okay? The climax of the story is a place where the story takes a turn. All right? It turns. What is the turning point for Soapy in this story? Laura?
He decides he wants to live a better life.
Right. He wants to live a better life. He wants to change. All right. He goes to the church. He hears the music and he wants to change. All right. That is the turning point in this story. Everything else about the illegal crime and he's trying to get arrested, all of that is the rising action. And then he wants to make a change. That's our climax. Then the falling action here, what eventually happens?
He gets into an argument. The guy was like,
Poor Soapy. Just when he's going to decide to change. He gets arrested, and then the denouement, you guys say that. Denouement. Say it more snotty than that. Denouement. All right, what is the denouement here?
he goes to the island.
He gets arrested, he goes to prison. Okay? There you go. All right. So you will need to do that with another story. It won't be this one, but you'll need to do that for it'll be a shorter story. Okay? I thought you guys did really well with that. When I went back and I looked at everybody's paper first, and then I graded them just to kind of see how everybody was answering these. And I thought this was maybe a little challenging of a story for you guys to do this plot diagram for. All right? But I think you did a fantastic job. All right? So very good. Very good with this. Let's look at the conflict. All right, here's a review. What are these conflicts right here on the side? What is this one? Man versus man. This one.
Man versus society.
This one.
Man versus God.
This one.
Man versus himself.
And this one.
Man versus nature.
Okay, there you go. All right, so in this story, somebody who got this correct, what is the main character's problem? And there were a few ways you could have said this, all right? AC.
He wants a home in prison.
All right, he wants a home in prison. What does he want that he does not have? Mm-hmm.
He wants to go to prison.
Okay, he wants to go to prison, right? And there were a few things that you could have said there. Who is causing this problem? Josh.
Himself.
He is. Yeah. Caitlin. Yes, read your number 5, Caitlin, please.
He is causing the problem because he is too prideful and ashamed to ask for help or find a job.
Yes, he is causing his problem here. And that was the proof, what you just said. He's too ashamed, he's too prideful to ask for a job, to ask for help. He's going to figure this out himself, right? Some of you said man versus society, right? And you're like thinking, well, the cop, or, he's trying to break the law. But ultimately, though, Soapy is in charge of the bad choices he's made to get there. So it's really his problem with himself, right? He's struggling with things within himself. That is why we have this story, okay? So it's really man versus himself here. All right, Andrew, do you have your paper there?
Yes.
Would you read your number 7 for the proofs for that?
He decided to do illegal things to be able to have a shelter. When he heard the anthem, he wanted to change his life.
Right. Both of those focused on Soapy's choices, right? He chooses to do illegal things, but then later he chooses to change his life. All right. What represents the cop in the story? Anybody who got it right?
The law.
It's the law,
His enemy.
his enemy.
Sophie's desire to be arrested.
Yeah, his desire to be arrested. What is the anthem? The change. What else? It sets him free. Yeah.
The side of him that wants to live life.
Yes. Okay. All right. And then why is this story called The Cop and the Anthem? It needed to be more of an explanation why. So whenever you see that why, you start off in your head, this story is called The Cop and the Anthem because, and then what comes after that? Think. What comes after that word because? All right, so it's an explanation why. Some of you who got that correct. Number 10, why is this called The Cop and the Anthem? Anybody? Yeah, Laura.
Sophie wants to go to prison for the winter, but when he hears the music from the church, he decided he wanted to turn his life around.
Right, so we have both elements. We have, he wants to do this, and so he tries to answer it in one way, but then he hears the anthem and he wants to change. So we see both of those. Good. What else? Who else got that correct? You can tell us what you said there. So more explanation on that, right? So those were the 2 main points. I think that's what Andrew said. Yeah, the 2 main points. Caitlin, read what you said.
The cop represents the law and the anthem represents grace. Sophie wanted the law to save him and would do things wrong, but then he found hope in the anthem. But unfortunately, at the end, he wasn't doing anything wrong and he got arrested.
Right, so it was the 2 together, the law and the grace, right? Sophie's choice to go to prison, but then Sophie's choice to change his life. It was both. All right. Let's talk about your test coming up. Let's talk about your test coming up. Test number 2. All right, so last time you had a test, I told you on the homework sheet. Let's take a look at that homework sheet right now. Let's see, real quick. Homework sheet. Yeah, here it is. Let's take a look at it. All right, so here in the middle, I've told you these are the lessons that are on the test right here, okay? All you need to do to prepare is go back to that lesson and just read out loud. Did you see like how I got the face shield in there? Face shield. All right. Read the highlighted parts. Just make sure you know the highlighted parts. All right. You will find the test and your homework. Are you starting to notice the repetition of it? Aren't things basically in the same order every single grammar lesson? They are, all right? And it basically is going to follow the same order. The test is going to follow the same order. Once you get the pattern of this, it will make things a lot simpler for you. But it's good to keep up. So for your lessons, all you need to do is review what we highlighted. Review what we highlighted. That might take you a minute or two. It might take you 30 seconds. Maybe it would take you a couple minutes, right? So just review what we highlighted. Those are the lessons that it will cover on the test. And it might be one question that will be a plural or singular question. All right? As you go through, you'll get used to, the kinds of questions that it asks. All right? You shouldn't have to relearn what's plural and singular. Right? It should take you 10 seconds. All right, plural is more than one, singular means one. That's review. All right, wait, don't pack up. Don't pack up. I'll tell you when to pack up. I've got 40 seconds. All right, vocabulary, I will always tell you the ones to focus on because we're at lesson 20-something. That's like 40 vocabulary words. These are the only ones that are on the test. All right, so that's all you have to study for that. But do take time to review the lessons before you ask Mom for the test. All right, it will really benefit you to do that. Just to remind yourself, noun have genders, masculine nouns, feminine nouns, indefinite nouns, neuter nouns. Just review what we highlighted for that, all right, and you'll do fine, okay? If you have any questions about that, please email or text. I'll get right back to you as soon as I can. All right, and good luck with that. You guys can pack up. Look, I went 14 seconds over. Sorry. All right, you guys, great class today. Very nice job today. I hope you're able to enjoy some time outside because it is gorgeous, beautiful. Happy fall, everybody. Happy fall. Woo! Happy fall, y'all. We can say that down here in North Kakalaki.
I'll say y'all.
You guys are dismissed. Have a great rest of your day. I'm sorry it won't be as fun as grammar class, though.
Yeah. So much fun.
I'm sorry grammar class is over. It's all down from here.
Thank you.
You're welcome, you guys. Have a great rest of your day.
Then you have to share.
Laura, just leave those highlighters. I'll come and get them.
That I pulled out on the table.
Okay, thank you. You're welcome, honey. Bye-bye. Have a great rest of your day.